The 7 things you should be talking about today. Number 7.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Are we looking at this? Am I looking at this correctly? Am I supposed to be very excited about this? Oh my Lord, how very exciting. It looks like we are looking at an absolutely amazing game between the number 1 and number 2 Alabama and Auburn football teams. No, just kidding. They're basketball teams. That's what's actually happening, and they are going to be slugging it out. Hey, what happened to Auburn? What happened to them? Oh, did someone come into town and beat them? Who did they run into? Was it the Florida Gators? Oh, okay. I'm just checking. I don't know. I don't follow basketball. The SEC continues its dominance in the rankings, securing 4 of the top 5 spots and placing a total of 9 teams in the top 25. Does anyone go to class in the SEC anymore? It seems like all we're doing is just dominating sports, but apparently that's what we do. So there we go.
Number 6.
Union membership in the U.S. construction industry has fallen to a record low of 10.3%, down from 10.7% in 2023, which is also pretty low. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, Alabama is no different. ABC Alabama leaders argue that the trend reflects positive employee and employer relationships. And that, I think, is something that a lot of union members and union advocates would push back on. I spoke with Jacob Morrison, and he argued that no, that doesn't necessarily represent that. It just represents the barriers to entry when it comes to unions. And I would argue that in some states that's possible, but that's definitely not everywhere. So I would disagree with a lot of that. Again, the argument here by Jay Reed, the head of this organization, he says they're just not buying what the unions are selling.
Number 5.
You know, if your name is Dale, you are generally correct on everything that you do. I mean, I'll just throw that out there. Dale Earnhardt. Dale Strong is another one. Yes, National Public Radio is becoming a mouthpiece for the Democrat Party and their talking points. U.S. Representative Dale Strong, a Republican out of Monrovia, has introduced the No More Funding for NPR Act of 2025, which seeks to eliminate all federal funding for NPR, arguing it has become an extension of the Democrat Party's messaging, which it absolutely has. Alabama legislators, are you listening? Are you listening? Are you listening to this? Why are we paying for this? The push aligns with President Donald Trump's previous calls to defund NPR. Elon Musk has mentioned it as well. Trump labeled it a liberal disinformation machine. Go to their websites and tell me it's anything but that. Please do. And you're paying for it for some ungodly reason.
Number 4.
Hamas has delayed the next planned hostage release under the ongoing 6-week ceasefire. Wait a second. Are you telling me that the militant Islamic terrorists are not living up to their end of the bargain? Are you suggesting that maybe they were being somewhat disingenuous while releasing very few hostages and rebuilding their armaments to cause more problems? Huh. Okay, well, they say Israel is failing to uphold its commitments, including allowing displaced Palestinians to return to northern Gaza. Israel has strongly condemned the move. You know who else has? Donald Trump, the president of the United States, is likening the appearance of the people that have been released. Yeah, likening that to Holocaust survivors. And he appears to be over this, saying, look, if the hostages were not released by noon on Saturday, all of them, he would then call for all hell to break loose. That's what he's going for. That's a quote. Quote, let hell break out, end quote.
Number 3.
Alabama's congressional redistricting case is back in federal court, where judges will determine the future of the state's newly drawn, racially gerrymandered district map that allowed Shamari Figures, a Democrat from Montgomery, to win his congressional seat and become the second black Democrat in Congress from Alabama, currently serving. So there you go. The case stems from a Supreme Court ruling that found Alabama's prior maps violated the Voting Rights Act. It's a little bit of a... I disagree with the findings of that. I disagree with the framings of that sentence. But either way, here we go. You're trying to get a specific outcome of a specific race And the courts have helped do that. Is that how representation is supposed to work? Of course it's not. I have a feeling we're going to see a pretty interesting legal battle here.
Number 2.
Showing that Democrats' main weapon is their own confusion and their constant, what? I don't understand worldview. U.S. Representative Terry Sewell, a Democrat out of Birmingham, has introduced the Taxpayer Data Protection Act to counter what she calls Elon Musk's shameful invasions of Americans' privacy. They're legitimately arguing that the premise of DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, is to steal your social security number. It's so stupid. It is so dumb. They're looking at the data. Yeah, no kidding, dummy. How do you do anything if you don't look at the data? You know who else is looking at your data? Every IRS agent, everyone that works for the Treasury, every government employee. Oh, yeah, and the people that work at Target and Walmart and everywhere else where you give them your stupid social security number. What are you talking about? Elon Musk is not stealing your social security number. Stop it.
And now time for the number 1 thing you should be talking about today.
22 Democrat-led states have sued the Trump administration over a 15% cut to the National Institute of Health indirect grant costs. Basically saying, hey, how much are you skimming off the top here? Is it over 15%? Yeah, you can't do that. And these entities are going, whoa, hold on one second. We need to skim more off the top here in order to get this done. And they're saying, no, you can't do that. Now, at UAH and UAB, they're saying, hey, we can't operate this way. The University of Alabama, Birmingham, University of Alabama, Huntsville, we can't operate this way. But Alabama has not joined the lawsuit. A federal judge has temporarily blocked the cuts because the judges are out of control. There's a judicial insurrection taking place. The U.S. Senator Katie Britt, Republican of Montgomery, has vowed to work with Trump's health secretary nominee Robert F. Kennedy to protect medical research. United States Senator Tommy Tuberville, Republican of Auburn, fully supports the cuts as part of Trump's broader push for government efficiency through the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. Now, here's something that might be of note here that you might want to just think about when we're having this conversation. What if, instead of suggesting that all government spending is valid, it must continue at the current rate or people will die? What if our friends on the left said, okay, look, we've gone a little crazy here on the government spending stuff. Here are the things that are important, and actually advocated for those things, as opposed to suggesting that, I don't know, as Terry Sewell is moronically doing. What? What's going on? Elon Musk is stealing my social security number? There's a button. This was said. There's a button at the Treasury that's going to shut off your social security payments. By the way, this is why they lose. I just want to point this out. This is why they're losing. This is why Donald Trump has the highest approval rating he's ever had. These people are imbeciles. And listen to me. I don't want to be rude here about a sitting United States Congresswoman, but she is a dumbass. And there is no other way to put it. I don't want to be rude, but she is incredibly stupid and simple. She has the mind of a child if that child suffered a massive head injury. That is what we're talking about here. That is how dumb she is. If you think Elon Musk is stealing your social security number as part of some scheme, you're an imbecile. He's not Nigerian. He's South African. He is not after your mom's social security number or her social security. Stop with this stupidity. I cannot allow it to stand. We will continue as we move forward. You can weigh in right here. 205-545-9950. Talk or text. Pick up that phone right now. 205-545-9950. We'll get to all of those a little bit later in the program when Tori joins us. Keep it locked right here. It's the fastest hour of radio anywhere on your radio dial.
You're listening to News and Views with Dale Jackson.